Hey everybody, how you doing?
Hey everyone, welcome to the Origins Happened 1 Week recovery show.
Oh, yeah, recovery's the right thing because I I I was taught how old I am by my body saying, please stop or I'm stopping forever. So after the last day of Origins, I got my Father's Day sushi for my wife and things were basically relaxed from there. Only had to do 1 day at work, and I was off the next 2 days after that. So that was good. That was
Nice.
good. As an Origins attendee, I had fun this year. I had a lot of fun this year. Got to playing games all the way Wednesday through Sunday. Um, I was in Aaron's game, and I I did have fun playing that game in character.
We're laughing for a
I see
reason. I will
nothing.
get to that, though. I will get to that. I got stories.
I, I didn't see nothing. I didn't see a thing.
Oh, there's a big story for that.
uh, but Wednesday I played in and let me tell you about Star Wars D6 edition made by Weston Games. All those many 80s, 90s years ago, about 40 plus years ago. They have a group called Sparks, and they attend every convention and they put together games and scenarios for a campaign system for the old Star Wars Western games. They have made over 300 modules for this game, and it's free to play. All you have to do is show up, and they go from convention to convention to convention, and they're very aggressive of getting players to their events because they say, hey, we can have a guy pick you up here in Columbus and drive you down to Tennessee to play in the game. And it's like, I don't have that much freedom anymore. I'm married and I'm responsible for things. I can't do that. Young whippersnappers, which basically the next generation on moving forward is a Sparks game. But in that game, I've been playing since 2021. I'm playing a Wookiee brute with a full body hair perm, and and everybody likes this character because the only time I lose my temper is someone messes my hair or someone puts a burn mark on me. I go berserk. They like it for some reason. Uh, this particular scenario that they put us through was a Star Wars mirror universe in which uh, Luke and Leia, the twins, were the bad guys, and the and the grand leader was Ben Kenobi, and Anakin was one of the freedom fighters. Very very interesting scenario. My mirror universe Wookiee counterpart basically is unkempt and he possibly has fleas and mange. So, so no, not too respectful of themselves. But I got to fight the Bad Batch, and that was fun in this mirror universe. Oh yeah, they were old and stuff, and they were trying to kill us. It was a scenario, and that was part one. Part two, I played on Sunday, which was my last game, in which I ended up. That's when I fought the Bad Batch with my original character, and I was able to take down Wrecker after he put a couple of good marks on me. That was a heavy game. My second game on Wednesday was Savage World Supers, and we were playing uh, MCU Avengers. And I picked up and I decided to take the Hulk. And I had with me a Hulk mini that was just prime black. And while we were playing, I was able to paint the mini in time and place it on the table and get busy smashing stuff. We also had a man who did a perfect Spider-Man. This guy did the, hey, remember that old movie thing? And he also kept calling me Dr. Banner to keep me angry. So he was good at the annoyance part, the flipping out the way part, characterization, and I said, give that man a Benny every time this guy did his thing. Had fun, ended up fighting Ultron, and basically, uh, the guy said he ran this game 20 times, and yet we came up with with another way to solve it, which was very unconventional. Let's say Hulk smash. Hey, picked on the Thor character. It was fantastic for me. Other high points at Origins for me is that I picked up some loot. Uh, and the first thing I picked up was Cyberpunk Red by R. Talsorian Games, and still being written by Michael Pondsmith. And let me tell you the history of this. Cyberpunk has been going since 1985. Michael Pondsmith created that game, and basically he had an investor who had a raisin farm, and his business partner said, "Don't name it after yourself because we'll run into all sorts of crap." So they named it after the raisin farmer because the raisin farmer will never show up at a convention ever. And over time, Cyberpunk has gone through a couple of iterations, a video game, and then in this latest book that I picked up, this man brought his family along into this business. He's got a son and a daughter, which are doing writing, directing. His wife is managing the company. He's got other products for R. Talsorian, Castle Falkenstein, The Witcher. Um, this guy, Mekton, that's him also. Uh, this guy has basically just made his niche in cyberpunk across this. Uh, I when I walked up to the booth, you could just see Father Pondsmith in the back, just chilling and just basking in his aura. And when you go outside the game hall, the vendor hall, there was a section dedicated to cyberpunk and everything with that. Also, Origins had a cyberpunk theme, so he was basking. This the shirt I got this year. First time I ever got a Origins merch. Another thing I picked up was Kings of War from Mantic Games. They were there at their booth, and I also spent time with my longtime friend, Blake Schroed, who used to work for at that other company from 30 years ago. And he was running the booth, and basically I just made sure to get him to his hotel, which was on Spring Street all the way, every night. And we would have dinner together and just basically talk over old times and just basically fellowship. That was awesome. Um, Another game I picked up was Goodman Games. I picked up Compendium of Dungeon Crawls, Volume 1, which has about 12 adventures in it, which I'm going to be using basically for one-shots at conventions coming up. And I'm going to be converting them over to Savage Worlds to play with that. And was there anything else I illicitly got? I keep trying to think if I missed anything. Hi, Sasha. I see you there in the background.
She
Okay.
came in for some love and then got the hell out of here.
Then got the hell out. Oh,
She's like, please
she's
love me.
The love pirate. Okay. I got you, Sasha. I got you.
You should have
Uh,
seen her today. She was just a giant lovable teddy bear to the text that came in to check my furnace and AC. Like, she just loved on them and they were loving her.
uh, Boy, she's basking in this life change.
Yeah.
I, she hasn't had a whiny day yet, has she?
I had to yell at her Friday. Yeah, I was in the kitchen, or no, was it? I think it was Saturday, actually. No, I was in the
Mhm.
kitchen working on a project that I told you, not going to talk about it on the show
Right.
just yet. But I was also making mac and cheese, and she had to be right up on me. And I'm like, I'm about to handle boiling water. Get the hell away from
Oh,
me.
oh,
I
uh,
almost collided with her. I'm like, get out of the kitchen.
Okay.
She
Did
was
she get out
very
of the kitchen?
confused, but I'm like, I don't want to kill you right now. One of us will die if this falls on them.
This falls. Oh, no, 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 no. Yeah. Shasha. Shasha needs to think the kitchen's possibly a no-no zone,
Yeah.
especially when you guys are holding stuff,
Yeah.
important stuff. Uh, what? Let's see. Who was there this year? Um, Warlord Games was there, but they had opened in the gaming hall, and of course they had all their stuff there. Catalyst Games, responsible for BattleTech, they're in the gaming hall also. Um, Studio Two Publishing was there with their entire book designs as well as their Savage World stuff. Goodman Games had their booth there. FASA was there pushing Leviathan, the ship combat game. And Reaper Miniatures was not there, but they still sent materials for a paint to take. They also, I believe, sponsored the Kathy Wapple Memorial Painting Competition. And I don't believe Army Painter was there, but they also had something for John Blanche there also, who had passed this year. Um, my Thursday was spent playing yet another Savage Worlds game uh, and Pathfinder with the Pathfinder Society, who also always has a massive team which is there to run Pathfinder adventures. They have basically a dedicated room which you go in and they have something like about 24 tables with GMs and enough for 6 people to play a piece. They have beginner tables, they have continuous adventure tables, and normally Origins when they close up their yearly theme and then they move to the next one next month to go from July through June. So Pathfinder Society, check it out, look it out. I guarantee it's a great time. It's a great time, as well as um, the Dungeons and Dragons team also has their dedicated society campaign group there also. Believe me, at Origins, you will find a Dungeons and Dragons game, you will find a Pathfinder game. One of the things you gotta worry about though, if you're not there early, you're gonna miss them. They could have 100 games listed. If you're not there early enough, you're not getting in any of them. And these games are at no charge. Now, of course, they had the specialty TSR staff games in which they charged for. Um, but that was that. Then we had Friday. Friday was when I ran my games. So I did my Tales of Seven Dwarves, in which they went into the Halfling village, and first they thought they were going to go ahead and set up the keep for defense, and one of them said, "Gnolls don't do sieges; they'll just walk by this keep, go straight into the Halfling community." So they decided to track the Gnolls to where the encampment was, which is about 8 hours out, and they got into a good fight. They were able to dispatch the Gnolls. The halflings, the halfling community had purchased the keep from the kingdom that basically abandoned them, and they gave it to the dwarves, and basically it became part of the dwarven kingdom, in which I'll be doing a continuing adventure in which some humans are going to try to break into that keep to steal dwarven secrets, which the party will be playing those particular people trying to break in. Uh, and my last Friday game was playing, I was running my Star Wars campaign, in which they get to the Jedi Master on the prison planet, find out he's building up a clone army of clones made from the main Jedi character from over 15 years ago. Only 2 are successfully Jedi. The rest are just people in clone trooper armor, which would have gone around and basically be used to start fomenting a rebellion to reestablish the Jedi Temple. Except this guy was Looney Tunes, and they had to dispatch him. One of the team decided, "I'm going to go ahead and tackle him." I didn't stop him. So he said, "I'm going to teach you, old man, how things are done." Went in, tackled him, missed. I had him re-roll. He re-rolled several times and still did not get hit the master. And on a miss, the master reacted. And of course, he's now got a cauterized chest cavity, and he's on the ground.
I
But a
remember you
duel.
telling me this now. I'm like, oh,
Oh, oh yeah,
yeah,
oh
I
yeah.
remember
And
this now. You said the exact same thing.
the demolition expert, when he saw when he saw those 20 clone troopers, he just took grenades. Ha ha! Burning a point. I'm gonna go ahead and try and throw them all at the same time. He almost wiped out the entire unit. The other guys are going for sniper shots on the Jedi Master, who's blocking stuff and talking smack and all of that. But then it came down to the Jedi Master running out of bennies, so he couldn't soak anymore. Uh, his former Padawan, who's now Jedi Knight, puts the final strike in. Then he dies. He doesn't. He doesn't fade, leaving clothes there. Nope, he dies right there because he'd become twisted with that. Then comes Saturday. I get into a game and I'm playing an Arbites in the world of Warhammer 40K using D&D. Uh, my
That
friend
sounds
James
awesome.
Britgis. Huh?
That sounds awesome.
I know it sounds awesome. Uh,
I might
the
also
mini
be
I was,
working on that module while I'm listening to you.
oh yes, oh yes. And my friend James Ritkers was there. I forgot what he was playing, but there was another Arbites. I was a close combat shield and
The your friend was playing a Death Cult assassin.
was playing a Death Cult assassin. And the other two, we go in and basically we're working for an Inquisitor. So that was gonna be great because the Inquisitor knows how to get things done. And at the end of the game, the Inquisitor got things done. To the detriment of me and the Death Cult assassin. It's like, well, they'll just mind wipe us, right? Right? Uh-oh.
I was actually talking to the previous a player from the previous game, and he's like, "I'm very happy that I got the mind wipe."
Yeah, so my always go for the mind wipe because the alternative is not mind wipe. it's just it's just wipe wipe. Ah, and my constituent atoms floated off into nothing. And after that game, I went and played Battle Stations, run by Jeff Sidek, the creator of the game, in which I couldn't find my previous character from the past couple of years I played, so I had to put together another Lapinoid character and a scientist at first level. Well, of course, I'm on the ship. The ship gets hit with missiles. I'm in the wrong area. I'm in the area which gets hit by the missile. Well, one of the things about the Lapinoid, since we're part rabbit, we get a lot of luck, and we get to force people to reroll damage against us. So I've only got 6 hit points. He's rolling 12. Luck reroll 10. Luck reroll 5. I'll take it. That gives me 1 hit point left. I run the hell out of the section, and I just stay in the sick bay. I just start healing myself, and I tell everybody, "You run in the sick bay, I'll heal you. I'm not coming out there. That's not going to happen." But this scenario started off in which I'm on my very first mission. I'm here with rank 10, rank 19, rank 5 people. Here I am rank 1. Everyone outranks me. We're up here watching this very lethal creature being observed, and the containment field fails. We got to get off this planet because this thing's about to get to the core and make this thing blow up, and we're going to start taking damage. So what do? Uh, our ships are destroyed, so they got other ships on the parking lot. We go in. I hack the ship open, and then we go ahead and start beating up the crew so we can strategically move their ship to an alternate location, which is into space. That's when we got hit with the missiles. We get to the end of the scenario, and Jeff Sidex says, "How'd your character live?" It's like after that missile hit, I went to the center of the ship and I stayed there the entire time. And I told everybody I'm on Overwatch to go ahead and heal anybody that steps in the sick bay. I am not stepping out of here. This is my first day. This is my first day. There are missiles flying at me. There's death monsters invading the ship. Everybody else is more experienced. I let them do what they want. Me, Band-Aid. No, you want a juice drink? Here's a juice drink. Oh, come fight. No. I'm in here. Damn it, Jim. I'm a doctor, not a fighter with lucky feet. uh, then after that, Sunday came and we played the final scenario, part two of the Star Wars Mirror Universe. And uh, that's when I got to fight the Bad Batch. And I'm sorry, everybody, I had to take out Wrecker, but this was my character, and Wrecker had scorched my fur. I had to take him down. So, but that ended up with everybody saving a in the mirror universe. Anakin was a rebel. The twins were on the side of the dark. It was pretty bad, but we got through it and we got back to our own universe. And it's like, okay, let's do this again next year. Sparks. Bye. After that, met Parker in the food court. Then Aaron and his wife had shown up, and exchanged words. Everybody had their way. Everybody went to their parking area, and that was the end of Origins for me. Got home, had sushi, and life was good. And my body said, "Don't you move anymore. I will hurt you double." And that's where I basically stood still and did nothing for a couple of days. How'd your week go, Eric?
Origins week didn't go exactly as we had hoped. My wife had a sinus infection. So the plan was originally game on Thursday, hang out on Friday, hang out and game on Saturday, hang out on Sunday. Did not do Friday. They finally were feeling better Friday night, so we went on Saturday. But for Thursday, to start it off, had my first game of the week with a team of players. They were all friends from Indiana, I believe. And none of them had ever looked into Warhammer 40K. So this was officially their introduction into the setting, and they absolutely loved it.
Yes.
I was describing things like, if you don't know, computer servers are considered not what we think they are. You right now, if you think computer server, you're thinking a bank of computer servers. In Warhammer 40K, a computer server is a limbless human that can no longer speak and has connectors going into his brain, because that's computers in 40K. So they absolutely were loving it. One player was playing a demolition expert. He got a little happy with the melt-a-gun. Went through half of his shots before the first combat ended. From there, he's like, "Oh, I didn't read this. If you're closer, melt-a-guns do more damage." I'm like, "Oh yeah, intense heat." So he became a little bit more focused. And it kind of really got me wanting to finish my 40K D&D module, which it's done. I just decided to add one weapon while Alan was talking, the Cadian pattern grenade launcher, because I realized I didn't have I had a grenade launcher that just was standard, and it was like one grenade, fire. A Canadian, a Canadian,
Canadian.
Cadian pattern can hold up to 20 grenades, and it is massive, and it has a kick to it. So I decided to add that in. But had a lot of fun in the game. Well, missed Friday. Came Saturday. Unfortunately, I forgot about Pride.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and by the time I got there, all of the roads to the parking garages were closed. So I had to park further away from the con, and because of that, I'm like, I have to take my stuff now. I was just going to leave it in my car, come back in like an hour, and then move it in. But no, I had to take it in then. Um, Walked around with the wife, hung out with, saw some friends, had my game with Mr. Blunt here, who you knew what you did. You knew what you did. So Alan was playing an Arbites. And for you who don't know what an Arbites is, an Arbites is Judge Dredd. It is a legally distinct and allowed Judge Dredd knockoff for 40K. There's actually a whole reason why they're allowed to have it, but we don't need to get into that
Mhm.
story. So he is a brutal space comp, and he was playing the Riot gear. So he had a shield, could shield bash, had a shock maul, so it's a mace that electrifies people, going ham on people. And while he's beating someone up, starts screaming, "Stop resisting arrest!" Over and over again. Everyone breaks up laughing. I look over at Alan, who has the most prideful look on his face.
What?
Yeah, you were.
What?
But anyway, so Alan mentioned something, and now I'll explain it. So both games were the exact same scenario, different teams. They handled it very differently. Um, the first group had a Skitarii tracker, so they hacked the maps and could actually see things on the board. While Team Two did not have it, they just went in, but they did find all the extra gear, including a plasma gun. Which that was the first playtest for a plasma gun, and I said, you know what? No, I don't like it, so I revised the rules. And now a plasma gun is actually kind of scary to wield. And if you know why I just said that, yeah, I made it
Yeah.
scary. I don't believe I made it scary in the original version. But they found out the secret what the Inquisitor wanted. Both groups figured it out.
Hmm.
Which, for you who wondered, it's uncorrupted gene seed from the word bearers. And according to, if you know, that means it's 10,000 years old. Except according to the time locks, it was only 23 days old. So warp time, timey-wimey got in there. So first group looked at it and went, you know what? This is lies. We're not going to believe it. We're just going to ignore it. They got mind wiped because the Inquisitor was not taking any chances. That being said, Group 2 instantly went to the Inquisitor. I believe it was the Ecclesiarchy member of the group, went to the Inquisitor and said everything. And Inquisitors are not known to take chances. So after they took off to get back to their ship, I described a strange beeping sound coming from under their seat. And their Valkyrie exploded.
Yep.
And the second the Ecclesiarchy character told the Inquisitor, I looked over at Alan and his friend, and both of them were like, and we're dead.
I said we didn't see anything. I swear to you, we didn't see shit.
But so that was a very fun game. I love the comparison between the two groups. And like I said, I talked to the first group afterwards.
Right.
And they're very happy that they kept their mouths shut and just got the mind wipe. um, but that also then made me start thinking about a few things, which I'll get to that in a second. But then Sunday, the wife and I returned, and this day we were going to have some fun. Just went around. I picked up. Let me grab it. Oh, so many. My Mages War Kickstarter, which I've had the
Yeah.
PDF of this for several months, but I haven't actually read anything past the special items, spells, and all of that. Never read anything past it. Now I'm actually reading the lore, and it's interesting lore. Goes further into why spellcasters were considered bad, where the Order of the Blank came from, and that one's interesting. It turns out a spaceship might have fallen on the world, and the creator of the Order of the Blank started experimenting with what he found and effectively jump started technology for this world. But yeah, it's I'm enjoying reading the lore. Also, we found a other 5e module, the Delver's Guide to Beast World. This is interesting. We were talking to the people there, and I looked at my partner and said, "So, do you want to go to lunch and talk about if we want to buy this?" To which my wife looks at me and goes, "We have already discussed it." And I turned and I went, "I'll be taking the book." But this is an interesting world. Effectively, it was a peaceful world until humans showed up.
Mm.
Effectively, all humans are from another world called the Broken World. It's a material plane that went to hell, and they needed to escape to survive. So the first explorers invaded this new material plane, and after they lost, the people of the material plane found out that their world is dying, and these are actually refugees trying to find a place. So the people of the world made a deal with their god to save humans. Like, get these people here, they need a home, they're about to die. But in
Okay.
doing so, something happened. The dungeon appeared. In this, dungeons never existed on this world, but now they're growing, like actual how we see dungeons. They're just appearing and expanding. And effectively, it has created a new form of celebrity. Dungeon delvers are just the heroes of the realm because they're the ones brave enough to go down. So you actually, it's kind of like a lot of animes now that have a D&D feel to them are basically adventurers are celebrities in these worlds. So that's what this is. They also they kind of give you your own home base because you can have carts like wagons and you can customize these wagons to do things. You could have weapons, motors, just because it turns out the humans, they did not come from a medieval world. They actually came from a technological world, but technology died. So they're bringing some of their stuff in, and steam power is starting to happen there. But it is just this fun little world, and they really want to emphasize fun over everything else. Because they're like, remember, this world used to be peaceful. It wasn't until the humans were brought in that it accidentally did something. Because the humans were accepted, the dungeon, though, is not what it seems. Like, there's no answer to it, it just appeared and started to grow. So they really want to emphasize that. It's full of non-standard fantasy races: wolves, foxes, jackals,
Okay.
otters. The bat people are fun, but yeah, it's full of that. Humans are the only standard one there. Uh, it has a Spelljammer feel because actually I was talking to them and they're like, yeah, Spelljammer was actually the basis for this, because of the technology and the other material planes coming in. It's just they had to shorten everything down. The only other planes that exist in this is the astral plane, um, and another one I can't remember. They merged Shadowfell astral plane together for that. But yeah, so it's a very fun thing. And when they mentioned the wagons and all the stuff you can do, I felt it in my soul. So I looked over. There's my partner, wide eyed, looked at me and goes, can I do this in the Spelljammers campaign? I'm like, yes, you
Yeah.
can.
Yes, you
We'll
can.
go over it and figure out how you can do it. But so yeah, we got that. But afterwards, I started really thinking. So I've mentioned it before. I do a start playing. I am a professional DM on there, air quotes. Um, I am continuing my Origins game as an actual campaign. It's up on start playing right now, so if anyone wants to join, they can. Um, but yeah, I'm just like I liked Inquisitor Dusk. So I'm like, you know what? Let's do a campaign with her as the patron of the group. So that
Full on
was
Inquisitor. Yes.
yeah. And as I said, my 40k module's done. I'm just waiting to have time because I actually want to do a video on my channel about it as I release it. To kind of explain reasonings for certain things, like why don't I have Space Marines or uh, Sisters of Silence or Custodos, because I wanted to focus on the normal people and soldiers of the Imperium. I love Space Marines. I have a Space Marine tattoo, but I don't want to play a game with Space Marines. I want to play a game with Beastmen and Ogren and Ratlings. But yeah, I wanted to just do a video talking about it, and when I get that video done, I'm going to release this thing into the wild for free for anyone who wants it. But now, now I have to prepare for getting a new AC and furnace, so we have to clean that up. We're only a
Hmm.
couple weeks away from my wife's surgery, so I'm like, everything kind of has to take a back seat and slow down. Like, I'm not even ready yet for next week's videos on YouTube, but I don't care. If one doesn't get up, it can wait.
Take care of you, lady.
Yeah. As long as I got one video done and the second video is halfway done. So I'm like, you know what? If I can't do the third video, it can wait till next week. It's fine. I don't care.
Ah. So, do you want to do Origins next year?
I am still trying to figure that out, because I don't know if I told you this. So originally, I was going to do non-chaos stuff, chimeras and whatnot for the people to fight. I go
Right.
into my 3D printer, my 3D printing files. I never bought them. Oh no. Okay, let's change it up. Let's do chaos. We'll add demons and all that. So I start getting them ready. I open up my slicing program for the big printer so I can just print out everything in a couple goes. You need to update. Okay, update. You need to update. Update. You need to uninstall this program before you update. Okay, let's go to uninstall. Uninstall. You need to update. What?
What?
Yeah, I can't use the slicing program for the big printer, which means
Ah.
the printer that is less than half the size is all I got.
Oh, wow.
So I went into, oh God, I need to find anything I can in this house to use in this game, because now it's going to take me days to print out all the characters for the
Right.
players. And I was literally, I didn't stop printing until uh, Wednesday night and finished every figure Thursday morning because of
Oh
how
wow.
long it took to do it with the small printer.
Uh,
Because the small printer can only do 3 to 4 figures depending on their size. In fact, I didn't even go with all the minis. There was one mini that never made it because for some odd reason it wasn't drying properly. It was still tacky and shiny. And that would
uh,
be the Cyber Mastiff model I had.
oh,
So I quickly grabbed dog meat from Fallout
yeah.
because my wife loves dog meat, loves Fallout, so we have that many. I quickly grabbed my cultists from my Night Lord's army. I grabbed the Nurglings from the
Hmm.
wife's Chaos army, and I grabbed the sorceress figure that I keep right here on my table. I grabbed that and quickly threw it into this game. So getting ready for Origins was very stressful. And then I will say I'm not really big on large groups. It's why we don't go to Gen Con. So Saturday having to walk through the Pride Parade to get to Origins kind of stressed me out. So if I do Origins next year as a game runner, I have to do a lot more planning because my OCD just went into overdrive and was not happy.
I
I'm
can understand that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been as stressed out if things were going according to plan, but they didn't go according to plan. In fact, they went catastrophically the opposite way. I still haven't fixed the slicing program yet.
What slicer are you using?
Chitobox, but the thing is, my small printer is no longer supported by Chitobox. So I have to use an outdated program for it, but it still works, so that's good. But the updated program, the one that they are giving everyone, doesn't want to work on my computer all of a sudden. So I have to figure out what's going on with that before I can slice uh, STL files and put it on the big printer. Like I spent 20 minutes trying to get it to update and trying to uninstall, and it just kept
Frustrating.
glitching the hell out. In the
Frustrating.
meantime, the older program says, hey, you need to update. No, I don't. X. Okay, let's go.
Let's roll.
But the other
Shut
one,
up and do
it's
the
like, hey,
job,
you need to
Archie.
update. No, I don't. You need to update. Oh, okay. It's forcing me to update.
It's forcing you.
Yeah. So that just kind of started a chain reaction of stressed out, and then taking care of my wife's sinus infection because she was not in a good place. She It wasn't a bad sickness, but she just felt like crap, and she's already in a bad place because of her hand, so had to take care of her. Um, we almost didn't go on Sunday just because we were both tired and like stressed out. So, but in the end, add in the fact of paying for tickets for my wife. Like, it was, do we really want to spend multiple days with things that are happening? Because I'm going to have to go on FMLA when she goes in, and now we knew we were going to need a new AC unit.
Right.
We didn't know when it was coming. So now we know money wise, but instead she was like, no, I want to go. Let's go. So she got her Sunday ticket. She put on her Jane Cobb cosplay, and we went, hung out with our friend Mark Loafman, hung out with you and Parker. It was a good day.
It was a good day.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know Mark Loafman was there.
Yeah, he was in VTest tournament.
Okay.
Remember when I said our friend's daughter is looking for something and now we're looking for it? That was him.
That was him.
And
Okay.
he's the one who found it. We literally were looking for the item, and I saw him and his son, and I just nodded to them and was about to turn, and then my wife goes, "You found it?" And I turn around, Mark has it in his hand, and they go, "It's over there." And so we got out of there. We hung out with another friend for a minute, and he also wanted to find that item. So I had to message him, going, "Here's where it is." Parker wanted to know where it was, so I told Parker where it was.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it was Mark. Hung out with him for a little while. We talked about interesting thing was announced. Vites Vampire the Masquerade is about to come out with a new edition, and they're crossing over with D&D. A brand new class is going up on D&D Beyond based on the vampires from Vampire the Masquerade and Vampire the Eternal Struggle.
Okay.
Yep. It
Hey.
is going to be a vampire class based around the use of blood points, and all the subclasses are based around the clans. And he
Okay.
is a huge Vampire the Eternal Struggle player, which is the card game of Vampire the Masquerade. And he's played Vampire the Masquerade, so he's a little interested in it, wants to see how it is. But they announced that last weekend and have since put out more details about it. But so we talked about that. But yeah, if I am going to run another game, I'm going to have to think about what I can do, because the amount of catastrophic bad coincidences were just annoying. Like after Origins, I calmed down. I'm like, you know what? It wasn't that bad. It's just a bunch of bad coincidences happening.
Yep.
But
Yep.
that being said, if it happens again, I'm probably going to throw a fit and break my stuff.
Yeah. And at the end of Origins, I had to step back and say, did I have fun as a player? Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be going next year. Things I've learned. I'm not doing anything at 8 a.m. ever again because that was a slog of a day. So no more 8 a.m. games. Earliest 10 a.m. Gets me in there, get the game in. If I have to run anything, let's see if I can run 4 next year. But yeah, the 8 a.m. basically has me dragging. And picking up everyone's badges. Um, they had improved on that this year, which any type of event runner went to a separate window than the mega line that was down there by the giant head in the convention center. Oh, the year before I was in that mega line, that was a 45-minute line. I don't ever want to do that again. But I had fun. Um, had had 2 new players who wanted to start getting into Savage Worlds. Told them Studio 2 Publishing was there. Studio 2 Publishing also offered me extra swag if I want to run games for them. And I'm going, yeah, I could do that, but am I forced to run these games or am I able to do a homegrown? If I have to use these particular books, can I put a homegrown together for that? They were all aboard with it. Um, Goodman Games, uh, I told them about using their stuff next year for one shots, and they said they'll throw some swag my way, and I could go ahead and give that to the players. So I'm looking strongly on doing that. Continuing my Seven Doors campaign. This was episode 3 of my Star Wars campaign, so of course I have to start a new trilogy in which I'm going into the beginning of the Clone Wars and missions with a team, uh, running that particular gamut. Just that, staying out of the way of Obi-Wan, Anakin, Ahsoka. I won't be involved with them, but my team will be doing harrowing things also. So I think I could be threatening enough with it. And Pathfinder, as I'm reading more and more and discovering more and more, I I think it's a superior system to fifth edition. It's more descriptive on its feats. It really fleshes out each and every character. No two characters are the same. So if this person's playing this type of ranger, this person's playing this type of ranger, and this person's playing this type of ranger. Com completely, completely immersive way in how they put their characters together in that system. So I'm going to recommend Pathfinder Second Edition to everybody. I'm not hating on D&D. I'm just saying it's a preference. D&D has its place. D&D is the initial game I started to play. It's the initial game almost everybody started to play, and it's easy to use. And I think one of the big mistakes that they did was uh, loosening their license because it's like they were on top without loosening that license, they would still remain the premier game. But other people were able to get in on it, and now, as I believe, they're recovering licenses or they've done something with it. I don't know the entire story on it, but I do prefer Pathfinder, um, and that's because I'm an old head. It has. I'm used to the way certain things work, and I like descriptive stuff.
Mm-hmm. I will say, and to flesh out what you just said, Wizards of the Coast, or Hasbro really, tried to pull what GW used to pull once every 2 years and tried to drain as much money out of the players and third party content creators as they could. Didn't go well for them. And us 40K players who play D&D literally were watching the D&D players freak the hell out. Like, is this the first time you guys have seen a company try to take more money from you? Like, this is a Tuesday for us. We've literally caused GW to nearly go bankrupt because they tried this crap. We know how to deal with it at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say in the end I'm someone who likes fleshed out. But I do like players fleshing the stuff out. And for me, D&D is not the perfect system. It's just the easiest system that's most accessible to people. And I am someone who promotes being fleshing out characters, fleshing out story. Like, I want my players to do that, so I promote it. But I will say, I have this problem with the current edition, that they are trying to make certain classes rely too heavily on a single feature. Um, Beforehand, like, I still love the Rangers. The Rangers are great, but now all Ranger classes are heavily relying on Hunter's Mark. And now all rogue classes heavily rely more on sneak attack, which sneak attack is great, but now there's like 3 features that feed into sneak attack, which means if you can't use sneak attack, you're losing all these features. And if you don't want to use Hunter's Mark, all the features that feed into Hunter's Mark are now useless. Every class is starting to do that. I can't recall, like, Monk, I don't really think is doing that. They have improved the focus system with monks. You can do more stuff with it, but in the end, it is not a I need a spell slot to do this, or I need to have a certain type of weapon to do this. But yeah, this edition, I feel like they kind of took away more leniency. I would have preferred if they went less and said, hey, customize this how you see it. And given more options of saying, you don't want this feature? Well, what about this feature? I would have preferred, because they were experimenting with it in 5th edition, optional variant rules. that you could go. My character is like for rangers. My ranger's not an outdoor ranger. He's a bounty hunter for a city. So all this feature is useless to me. Oh look, there are optional rules. So now I can be more focused on hunting bounties and all of that. As Sasha comes in once again to get some love and then go back. um,
Love
so
Pirate Inbound.
I completely get the fact that you like another system because they allow more flavor and customization to the characters themselves. I wish D&D did that, but at the same point, like I said, it's the easiest system to get into, which is why I use it. Just because I'm the kind of guy who literally goes, if this isn't going to offer me something different, I'm not going to play it. I have other role play games that I have, Fallout 2D20 and Bunkers and Badasses.
Yes.
Love them. Just like I have other war games. But yeah, I wish that D&D had followed that example because they were experimenting with it and then just dropped it.
Yeah.
But that being said, the other stuff they were experimenting with, I feel really works. I'm happy they stuck with those experiments, but I don't see why they didn't stick with the more customizable classes. Though it's probably just a money thing.
Possibly it's just a money thing, and
Yeah.
we'll see over time.
Yeah.
Uh, D&D is not going anywhere.
Yeah. Well, that's why with my D&D 40K thing, um I've added a new origin feat to it, and I'll talk about it here. It's actually interesting. It's called Tech Adapted. If you take this origin feat and you become an artificer, cleric, or ranger, you are not considered a psyker or a mutant. Therefore, you don't have to worry about perils of the warp. Your abilities are tech based,
Oh,
but it's only for those three classes. Unless
okay.
you unless you take the background Adeptus Mechanicus, which gives you a bonus origin feat, which is tech adapted, they
Right.
augment it to add wizard into it.
Okay.
So I'm like, you know what? You want to play an Arbites, and you also want the hunting capabilities of Hunter's Mark and all of that, but
Right.
maybe you don't want it to be tech. Maybe you're now a Psyker Arbites. You can change it up a little bit. Um, I wanted to also think about other feats, but then I decided against it because I was like, oh, I can make a feat about becoming a saint. And I'm like, no, let's not do the whole saint route. But yeah, so like in this, I really did want to, and I have so much notes in here about really kind of going into like all my backgrounds looking at it. They don't just give you like suggested stuff like you want to be Astra Militarum slash PDF. Well, guess what, you now have proficiencies in all weapons, light and medium armor, shields, and then you get some extra gear. Instead of going suggested backgrounds, I went, or no, suggested origin feats, I went, no, I'm giving you proficiencies. Take whatever origin feats you want, it makes it more customizable, but I'm giving you proficiency so you can be a wizard and be fully trained in how to use a damn bolt gun. Though I actually believe my bolt gun requires a strength. Did it? Yes,
I don't
it
think bolt
does.
guns have recoil. I don't think bolt guns have recoil.
Yeah.
Uh,
Which reminds me,
whoosh. Oh,
the Cadian pattern grenade launcher should also have that because it is a freaking it has enough recoil to be a bolt gun.
yep.
There we go. That's a quick
Shooting a
change.
big old sucker out.
Oh yeah, like for the Cadian pattern grenade launcher, because I was reading the fluff on it. You have to basically stand a particular way before you fire this thing because of how much strength it has. Yeah, I added a rule, massive recoil. On a turn you haven't
Massive.
moved, you may fire this weapon by bracing yourself and making your speed 0 until the end of your current turn. But you can lob a grenade 150 feet, and there are 20 damn grenades in that thing.
That's a beautiful gun. Ah, that's my army also. Oh man.
All right.
Ah,
Yeah, but that
and
was my origins and my thoughts on doing games next year, and then a tangent on not only my 40k D&D game but also my problems with current edition D&D.
okay. Uh, I've gone over my latest Origins journey. I'm going to continue it. I've got other plans for Savage Worlds. Of course, I got involved with the Deadlands 30th anniversary Kickstarter. So that's uh that's one I'm waiting on. The next thing I'm going to be looking into is learning the 11th edition of Warhammer 40,000. Um, to tell some of you up front, there is no more narrative game.
There will be narrative in my games.
But there'll be narrative in your games.
Yeah.
But the way the scenarios are up now is that you have your mission, they'll have their mission. You won't both have the same primary mission any longer versus your opponent. So what happens is that you try to concentrate on your mission, and you might want to interfere with your opponent, but it's really you can do your mission, and your opponent, most they can do is take off most of your models. But as long as you're achieving mission, you got your winning. Um, but that's what I've gleaned so far. Reading the other rules is that if cover is going to be a thing, if you have ignores cover on that table, and no secondary factor is providing that ignores cover, you will do very well because it now reduces uh, shooting capability. If you got a shooting army, you need to have something to mitigate that cover, or you're not going to make it. If you have a hand-to-hand army, you're going to have fun because you're harder to hit, and you can now hide in the cover without having the shooter do anything and be completely invisible to enemy shooting. You're going to have fun. So horde armies, Tyranids, orcs, Gene Stealer waves. Yeah, you're gonna have lots of fun. But that's my post origins update. Had fun. Gonna do it again, and I hope to see some of you there. Aaron's gonna leave me. Okay,
As long as my
he's not
printer works, maybe I won't.
okay. If the printer works, maybe you won't. If you need
Well,
something printed up for a game, let me know. I've got all
yeah,
these large bed printers. I can get stuff up and going.
yeah. Well, like I said, this year has been stressful, and just getting ready for Origins was not in a good place for me. But that being said, right after Origins, that's where big news happened. That was a relief, and then today more relief. So yeah, I feel 100 times lighter.
Okay, well,
Uh,
let's see how you're doing next May.
yes. Well, who knows? I have a lot of things in the pipeline going, so maybe life will be a little different next May.
Maybe it will. As long as my grandchildren don't do anything drastic, I should be good. All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening. Please hit the like button. We want to keep doing this.
hmm
Um,
Make sure to
if there,
subscribe.
make sure to subscribe. If there's subject matter you want us to go over, throw it up here.
hmm
Did not have any conversions for you this week. Well, this time, I'll see what I can do about going back to some book reviews.
hmm I got some plans for the show. I am actually going to talk about my favorite fifth edition modules that take you into a different world, much like Mage's War and the Delver's Guide. I keep wanting to call it Dungeon Delver's Guide. No, it's Delver's Guide. I also got a couple over there that I frankly absolutely love. So I'm thinking about doing that, like talking about the worlds themselves and what uniqueness they bring to the games.
My man. All right.
Yeah.
Yep. Loved everybody. Hope to see you again. And get some comments on here.
Mhm.
Want to see them.
Yeah. Thank you all for joining us.